Everybody, please note that this video contains a lot of strobing light effects, flashing lights, so please stop watching now if that is something that affects you. Hello everybody, Nikki White here, and today I'm taking you along to the Pop Air exhibit in Paris, France. So this is an interactive exhibit that is running until August 2022, and while I was there on vacation, I definitely had to go stop by and check this out. So this is located at La Grande Halle, and it's easily accessible by subway, and you book your tickets in advance or you can pick them up there, and you wait in a little line with your time slot. The first room is a dark one, and you're greeted by these big inflatable koi fish, and they spit out water into these little pools, and you can touch everything. I guess you could put your fingers in the water if you want, and they're just super cute. Then after this room, they had a little list of the different exhibits and the artists behind them, and you have to wait in this kind of like space age neon hall to enter the next room. They give you these little booties for your shoes because you're going into the next room and the next few exhibits, and they don't want things to get dirty. So the first major room that you go into is actually like the star of the exhibit, I would say. This amazing big white ball pit with the ceiling has these like fluffy cloud balls. You can just like dive in this ball pit. It definitely brings out your inner child. I mean, obviously there was kids there too, but I was just there as a big kid. I was literally going into it and like swimming around, had my little booties on. And I know some people are totally grossed out by this and ball pits, but hey, I had to do it. So you're in this room for a certain amount of time, and it is like a decent amount of time actually, and they do like a little light show while you're in there too. So you kind of direct your eyes to the middle of the room, and these lights start flashing and stuff comes down from the ceiling. And yeah, this whole exhibit, as I stated in the start of the video, has a lot of strobing lights and those kinds of effects, so you have to keep that in mind when you come to this art exhibit. So this next room after the bubble pit room was really cool. There was real bubbles, everything was dark, and there's just kind of like this bright light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. So everything's kind of silhouetted. I really like this room, but you're only kind of passing through, so you're in there for a quick time only. And it was kind of gross on the floor because all the bubbles are obviously popping down there. So there's just like bubble muck on the floor. I believe it's after the bubble room that you get to take your little protective booties off your shoes. Then you walk over to Balloon Street. So this was kind of like photo op opportunities in these little cubicles with different color schemes and kind of like some art done up in balloons. So it was pretty cool, but really crowded, probably the most crowded area. And I was by myself, so it was kind of hard to get pictures. So still cool to check out though. The Never-Ending Story room was very reminiscent of Yayoi Kusama's work, especially the Infinity Mirror room. Although this one, the strobe lights were extremely aggressive and flashing and fast, versus in the Kusama room, it's much more like swelling and in and out and soft. This room was different, but still kind of the same vibes, and it also had two different levels, so you could be on the top or the bottom and kind of also looking at people looking at the art, so that was interesting. But I wouldn't recommend staying there for too long just because it is pretty crazy in there. Then there was this pink room everything was kind of covered in this pink cloth. There was some lights, weird like pillows on the floor. And this room was like very Stranger Things-esque. Everything was just basked in this pink light. I wanted just to like chill out a little bit, so I definitely took a little seat on a pillow there. But yeah, it's like the whole room was almost like alive in a weird, you know, Stranger Things way. So that was definitely interesting, and I would say that's more of a chill room. Okay, the Jinjos. This room was whack, for lack of a better word. I was by myself again, and I'm just kind of trying to film and stuff, but the kids were jumping. The music was like, I don't know, the music was like just crazy. You know, if I was there with someone, I would be jumping around on these things and bashing into them. But when you're by yourself, a little harder to do that, especially holding any equipment for filming. So I definitely was not bouncing around on them, but they're like very stiff, and it was just like a fun, chaotic, crazy room. Definitely good for kids. Yeah, there's me trying to like sit on one, but yeah, definitely just, I think you can tell the vibe. The Jinjos are coming. What? What? This was another interactive room where you can be running around with this like spiked COVID looking ball. But yeah, it was like a bunch of kids and I wasn't going to go in by myself. So just looked at it from afar. And then there was this weird sculptural intestinal knot looking thing. And you can kind of just like walk around it and look at it as a sculpture, or you can actually, you know, interact with it and get all up in there, which I did. But, you know, there's like kids running in and out of there too. But I still had to get in there. Overall, when I went on a weekend as well, and it was not insanely crowded, which was nice. Like there was still a few lineups at the beginning, but that's kind of how they moderate people. They also had some of these inflatable chairs and couches you could sit on, and that would be like 11-year-old Nikki's dream. When I was 11, I really wanted to have like inflatable furniture and like walls covered in faux fur. And instead of exiting through the gift shop, you exit through this balloon bar and like balloon cafe where the walls have balloons and it's super cool colors. I didn't want to like lean up against them and break them. You can get balloon swords or balloon flowers. I thought that was really interesting. They had some cotton candy as well. They also had these donut swings with the balloon backgrounds, which looks really cool. But again, kids on them, and I wasn't going to be like, out of our way, kids. And then when you exit, you can actually go check out this huge inflatable castle. It's free to go to. It's at the end of the exhibit. So if you want to, you just kind of have to like wait in line. And if you're thinking about going, I highly recommend it, especially for the price. It was worth it and a lot of fun. So see you in the next one. Okay, see you, boys.